Hello peoples of the internet, and welcome on to my channel. Today's video is kind of a humble jumble of sorts of things. Firstly, it is a YouTube collab with the lovely miloe Joan. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Her channel is also bullet journal related, and she posts all sorts of plan with me's and weekly spreads, and honestly everything she creates is so inspiring for me, so thank you so much to miloe for collabing. When you finished watching this video, the link to her video and channel will of course be down in the description box below, so you can go check her out and send her some love because she is amazing. Just as a note, this is my second ever YouTube collab, and both have happened within the span of a month, so pat on the back to me for expanding my boundaries a little bit and trying something new. Again, if you guys want to see more collabs in the future on my channel, comment down below who you want me to collab with and what sort of videos you want to see, because these are turning out to be really fun. Anyway, so the video we wanted to do was coincidentally another travel related spread. This time I'm going to be just simply making a spread and journaling about places that I personally want to visit in the future. Now, I'm actually filming this voiceover in my bedroom and I'm not near my computer, so I couldn't actually tell you what's happening right now on the video screen. But I will give you guys a fair warning that this voiceover is kind of going to be more of a podcast style, because as you saw by reading the title of this video and the thumbnail, this is a real-time bullet journal video. I got this comment a couple weeks ago, and someone asked me how much time it took for me to do sketching versus rendering of a spread. And I find that sometimes I ask myself the same question with other bullet journal creators that I like to watch. Sometimes the videos go by in under 10 minutes, but they make like 6 spreads and they're all incredibly elaborate. And I just ask myself, did they take like 30 minutes to do this spread, or was it like a 2-hour process? Anyway, so if one of my viewers are interested about it, then I thought I might as well make a whole video about it. Not to mention that real-time bullet journal videos are not too uncommon in the bujo YouTube world. So here is my video. A collab, kind of a podcast, traveling spreads, real-time bullet journal, all the things mushed into one. So as far as my spread goes, let's start there. I'm doing more of a scrapbooking style spread because I've been realizing recently that I have way too many stickers and washi tape that I know what to do with. And also, whenever I do bullet journal themes with scrapbooking, it kind of stresses me out. So instead, I like to save scrapbooking for random spreads that I make on the side, or for more elaborate weekly spreads when I have extra time on my hands and feel like jazzing up a spread with some stickers and washi tape. I printed out 3 pictures, the top one from Greece, the next one from Seoul, and the third one from Paris. And obviously, these are dream travel destinations that I want to go to in the future, but all of the pictures I can probably try to link down below since I found them all on Pinterest, and of course, all credit to the photographers and owners of the pictures. I'm not trying to steal anything. Please don't come for me in the comments or whatever people do. Anyway, another common trend in the bullet journal world is diagonal collaging. Instead of putting the pictures on your scrapbooking page straight, they'll angle the photos a little bit so it looks a little more secondhand, maybe a little less classy and polished, a little more authentic. I don't know, I may be just making up some random gibberish here, but I think it's super cute, and so it's always intrigued me because I feel like it's hard to angle photos and then straighten stickers, and it makes the entire spread look wonky. But I wanted to try it, so a couple weeks ago I made a weekly spread and I tried it out, and I actually really loved it, so I'm doing it again in this spread. All of the pictures are slightly angled because why not? And also I found tends to draw the eye towards the center of the page, since all of the photos are angled towards the center of the page, so that also helps with the design perspective. My next step in this thought process was, of course, all the stickers and washi tape that was going to go with it. And I've talked before in previous videos, like this one here on the screen, of how I go across making my bullet journal themes. And usually that starts out with a color palette. So although I already have my pictures here and I can't really change the colors in those photos, I decided to base my color palette off of each specific photo. The Greece picture, for example, was very bright and summery with some peaches and blues, and that is also, by the way, like my ideal vacation. Like, forget Seoul, forget Paris. If I could go anywhere, I would go to Greece. I felt like that was very summery, so the colors I picked to go around that collage were more warmer, like golds and browns and greens, and the teal was very prominent in the picture, so I tried to stay away from that a little bit, but that whole color palette in the top corner was probably my favorite of the three. Moving down the page to the middle one, Seoul's picture was at night, and so it was very edited, very purpley and blue, and honestly, I am in love with the neon colors in that photo and may do a future theme about that. I don't know, we'll have to see. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, so the color palette in that section was primarily purple and pink and some teals, and much cooler than the above Greece picture. And at the very bottom is Paris, which is of course city of love, question mark. It's lights, love, romance, whatever, but it all kind of goes together. So we had to add some pink, some roses, some flowers, the iconic Eiffel Tower, and I added some blue in there too because there's only so far you can go with just pink. As I'm finishing off these little collage sections, I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about traveling. Now, I would not call myself a traveling person. I love to travel, but I have not been to many places. And if you guys don't already know, I live in the United States, but I've only left the country a couple times, and it was all to go to one place and visit family. So I have not been to any dream destinations besides places that are in America. So yeah, I just feel like I want to travel more and get to see the world more. It's harder to do it right now, but hopefully in the next few years or so, I can start traveling a little more. Paris is, of course, a romantic destination, as we've already stated, and that would be a pretty great honeymoon. I will not lie. Expensive, yes, but great anyway. So if my future husband is watching this, take notes. Anyway, but also I would love to see Seoul, because if y'all didn't already know, I am a very hardcore K-pop stan, and any chance to stalk my idols and biases is something I will jump right on. So I'd actually love to go visit Seoul and see all the things there is to see. People talk about traveling to Europe all the time, especially here in America, because it's close. It's, of course, where most dream destinations are, like Rome, Greece, Paris, all over Germany, London, like all those places, you know, cliche travel destination spots. But other than Tokyo and Seoul, I don't hear of too many places that people want to have destination travel spots in, like, Asia. And so, other than Seoul, although I didn't put it on this page, I would also love to travel all around Asia. Also a very beautiful part of the world, and I just love to go see it. Also, while I'm recording this, the 2021, not 2020, it actually annoys me so much that they put 2020 on everything, but whatever. The 2021 Olympics are going on in Tokyo, and I'm seeing a lot more of the city than I've ever seen before, even through just the sporting events that they can show. So I think it would also be so cool to visit Japan and all sorts of other countries. I didn't put on the spread, but as far as my fourth destination travel location place thing, I would love to go to Zimbabwe. I actually have some very close family friends that are from there, and we've always talked about traveling there with them. And I know my grandfather specifically wants to go visit the Victoria Falls, is it? I think. And I think it'll just be so stunning, and also travel to yet another continent that I've never been on. So yeah, basically I just want to travel. I want to see the world and do all the things that any young Gen Z person wants to do. Back to the spread and the whole idea of real-time bullet journaling. So I did not actually sketch out this spread, as you guys probably saw. I had a general idea in my mind from the night before, and I just kind of printed out some photos and laid them on the page. And so there wasn't much sketching going on. However, if I was to do more drawing on this page, like for example, whenever I do my monthly plan at the Muse, you guys see all the rough pencil sketches that I do. before I film, and so I wanted to kind of chat with you guys and answer this lovely subscriber's question about my sketching versus rendering time when I'm creating spreads in my bullet journal. So I usually start planning out my themes like a week before I film. I usually just do little snippets as the week progresses, and that also gives me a chance to change my ideas and think more on my theme before I actually commit and film the bullet journal theme. So I don't know the exact numbers for how long it takes for me to sketch each theme, because each video requires a different styles, different amounts of spreads, etc. But on average, let's just talk about a weekly spread, shall we? Whenever I'm creating a weekly spread during the week, I usually sit down on Sunday and sketch. I usually have a general plan in my head again, and I will just mark general boxes and whatever. Weekly spreads are a lot more simpler and less nerve-wracking, only takes me maybe 10 minutes. However, if we're talking about a cover page, like my August cover page, it was the first spread of that particular theme, and I was really nervous. I wasn't 100% sure where the entire theme idea was going, so in total, I just really wanted to completely finish my thought process before I started inking anything. So it depends on the spread, things could take a little longer. However, rendering obviously is a much longer process than sketching. Filming my Planet 3 videos can take me hours, and actually usually does take me hours because I'm a slow creator and I stress over every single line that I put in my bullet journal. So if my sketching time for a cover page took me maybe 20 minutes, my coloring and inking and rendering time can take me anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour. However, for weekly spreads, it's a little different. See, my sketching time would take me like 10 minutes, but rendering time could take me from 20 minutes to like 45 minutes. The thing with weekly spreads is they're a lot more familiar. It's the same thing pretty much every spread, you know, spaces for every day, a to-do list spot, etc. And so, since I know the basis of what happens in every weekly spread, I don't need that much sketching, but I still want to spend time making sure all the inking is done and up to my normal standard. That is ironic because, like I said a couple minutes ago, I didn't sketch anything for this spread that I'm making here. However, my planning process was still essentially the same. I took out the photos that I found on Pinterest, printed them, cut them, and put them on the page. But before I glued them, I made sure that they were in an order and direction that I liked, because as you saw, I played around with the angle of each photo before I found a position that I was proud of. And then as far as the rendering process went, since this is a real-time bullet journal video and there are very minimal edits in it, the total process of this spread took me maybe like 30 minutes. I wasn't really in a hurry because I was listening to some fabulous YouTube videos, if I do say so myself, and also chatting with you guys in the premiere of my August plan with me, and also just enjoying some slow journaling time. So I wasn't in that big of a rush, but I was actually surprised that it only took me 30 minutes to do this spread. I'm pretty happy with the speed that I finished it at. I hope that answers your question about my ratio from sketching to inking time. It really can change. I can spend up to an hour on one spread. I can spend 15 minutes on a spread if I'm really in a hurry. But I definitely want to sketch out at least something first to make sure my ideas are clear. Comment down below if you also have any thoughts on this. Like, what is your normal sketching to rendering ratio? That should definitely be a thing in the bullet journal world. For me, my ratio is probably like 1 to 4. So for every minute I spend sketching, I'll spend 4 minutes rendering, which actually sounds crazy when I say out loud. But like I said earlier, every dot I put in my journal is incredibly thought over. And so I know that I'm making something that I will enjoy looking back on. So anyway, I don't know how long this voiceover has been. I'm just kind of sitting here again in my bedroom, chilling, hoping that I'm gonna spend enough time talking to fill up this entire video. So let's do a miniature life update, shall we? It is currently July the 31st, and there is an approximate 2 weeks before school starts, and it is not stressing me necessarily, but I'm definitely dreading it. I'm going to be a junior in high school this year, and it has always been known as one of the hardest years in school, especially the hardest year in high school, because you're always thinking about college coming up. You have your SATs or ACTs or whatever tests you take. There's a lot of AP classes, like for me, I'm taking 3, and so it's a lot of things to think about. And my schedule is already filling up, even though school hasn't started yet. I mean, there's a lot of things on my plate, you know? I have school, I have my YouTube channel, I have an Etsy shop, in case you didn't know, link is down below, as usual. And I also am in color guard with my school. I am a captain, so that requires a lot more extra time on my part. I'm also trying to have a social life this year, so that requires some time for me to spend with my friends, go to birthday parties, just hang out with people, FaceTimes, etc. I'm also an incredible bookworm and I love reading, but as of right now, my prime reading times are from the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., so that doesn't really help with my sleep schedule much. Plus K-pop. K-pop takes a lot of mental energy. Anyway, so there is a lot going on in my life. It's a lot to balance. People ask me sometimes in the comments how I find ways to balance everything with YouTube, Etsy, and my academic life specifically. And I would say that obviously my bullet journal helps a lot. The real reason that I got a bullet journal in the first place was to find a better way and a more creative way for me to schedule out my life. I've used multiple planners before, and yes, they were efficient, but they were incredibly boring. No offense to these companies, but they are. And it's not unlike me to enjoy a minimal planner, but I enjoy letting out my creativity. So if there is a way to plan out and organize my life along with making it cute and pretty and letting me just use my art supplies and have at it, that is what I'm going to do. And thank goodness for me starting up bullet journaling, because that's the thing that started my Etsy and my YouTube channel and everything that happened after that. So since the bullet journal is the main way that I balance everything that I just mentioned, my main course of action is prioritizing everything. First thing I do once I set up a monthly calendar pages is I go through and mark out everything that I have to do. So my first step is to go through my phone calendar where I have general dates and write things like when school starts, when guard rehearsals are, when birthdays are, when church is, that one tiny day trip I'm taking on August 8th, etc. And then I'm going to go in and schedule out the days that I'm planning to post a new video. If you guys saw my channel update, all my videos are going to be posted on Saturdays now, so I went and wrote in all that stuff. Then I looked at the Saturdays that I have free, which is pretty much every Saturday this month, thank goodness, and I scheduled out the videos that I'm going to film, because I usually film on one Saturday and then post that video the following week. And then lastly, I look at the days that I'm not too busy and I schedule time for either myself and self-care time, for my friends, or extra time for me to work on Etsy shop things if I haven't already done enough pre-planning for that month. I will say though, I do plan a lot of Etsy stuff in the future. Like I did a lot of drawing and creating in the beginning of July so that I have things to put on my Etsy shop later in August, September, etc. That is basically how I organize my entire life, in case you cared, and how I balance and prioritize all the different levels of my life. I know a lot of you out there are just like me. You have a lot of things you're balancing, possibly school and college, maybe a job. Maybe you also have an Etsy shop or a YouTube channel or social media platforms or family time or friends or traveling or anything you really have to deal with. And I know it can be hard to make sure you have time to fit everything into the mere 24 hours we get with every single day. I guess this very extended rant is just here to tell you that if you're looking for a way to organize all of this, I personally recommend a bullet journal, but there are of course tons of other ways that you can just take control of all the different elements of your life and find a way to make them all fit into a puzzle piece of 24 hours. I'm trying not to be stressed right now. I mean, things are coming up fast and I know the school year is going to be incredibly busy, but there are also so many things to look forward to, like football games and hanging out with friends and birthday parties and quite a lot of sweet 16s this year because I'll have a lot of friends who are turning 16, and school supplies and hauls on my YouTube channel because those are definitely coming up soon and I'm so excited about them, and just a lot of other things. So if you're feeling stressed right now, you're not alone. But I hope you can work through that so that you can find the positives and all the things going on. I think this voiceover has been long enough. I think I've rambled about quite a lot of things, and I hope at this point on my computer the video has gotten to the point where my spread is pretty much done. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. A whole lot of random stuff in this video, but I feel like it was kind of a brain dump that needed to happen. I don't like journaling and I enjoy the idea of journaling. See, people say you're good to journal for your mental health, and I agree. I think it's good to get your thoughts out, but personally, writing takes so long for me, and ain't nobody got time for that, as I just explained in my incredibly lengthy schedule. So I don't know, I feel like just talking to you guys through a screen, through a voiceover, is just a way for me to get my thoughts out. And I don't know, I guess I feel a little less cluttered up in the brain today, so good for me, I guess. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day wherever you are, whether it's day or night. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos and for supporting my channel. I really can't express how much it means to me. Every time I premiere a video and I get to chat with you guys in the chat box, or when I see some people who comment and I recognize their username because they comment on literally every video, I don't know, it just makes me so happy to know that there are currently 891 of you that are subscribed to my channel and like watching my content and don't mind me rambling on about crazy stuff for almost 30 minutes, because I guess you guys can stand me if I'm weird or crazy or maybe a little annoying, who knows. So yeah, thank you so much to Miloe for collabing with me. Again, if you haven't already, go check out her video in the card and in the description box below, along with her channel, because she is amazing and so inspiring, and I love her content. And I'm sure her spread that she made for this collab is also beautiful. So make sure to go check her out. Also, if you like some of the stickers you're seeing right here, I will hopefully be able to link all the materials I use in the description box below. But some of them do come from my shop, so if you want to check that out, the link is also in the description box as usual. So yeah, lots of talking. I need some water. I'm also about to go to a birthday party, so I probably should get on to that. Thank you yet again for watching. Comment below this emoji if you got to this point in the video. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Spend time to watch the sunset today because it is my personal favorite time of day. And I will see you guys in my next one. Toodles. Talk what you done, had me thinking that you were the one. Kinda shit that to you was fun, to take all my love and leave me with none. So